This is episode 91 of the After Gambling podcast. And in this episode, I'm just going to go on Reddit and respond to some stuff. Hey there, and welcome to the After Gambling podcast. My name is Jamie. I am a former problem gambler. Now I do this little podcast to help other people, either help them recover, help them help other people recover, get insights into the addiction so that you can better understand it. We can all better understand it and make better decisions as we move forward and just try to help as many people as possible. Now, one of the favorite places that I like to go visit, and I try to send a lot of people there. I haven't done it in the last few episodes, so here we go. Perfect opportunity. And that is Reddit. Reddit, for those of you not familiar, maybe in the older demographics. Go there and check out r/problemgambling. That is one of the best groups on Reddit for problem gambling, support, help, all of those things. Help and support, I guess those are the same thing, right? But anyways, it's a great community full of people like me, like you. They're sharing what's working, what isn't working. And you get a lot of people that are new. A lot of times I think this is probably their first place they go because Reddit is such a big community place where people are already active in other communities, other interests. And so they may jump over looking for help when they have a gambling problem, either in problem gambling or I think there's another one, gambling addiction. Both really good groups. I'm sure there'll be more in the future, but those are kind of the two biggest ones. So if you're not familiar with Reddit, definitely check it out. And for those of you that are, just keep going back. It's a great place. So yeah, I had this idea. What can I do? Something a little different, something new, try to answer questions and ultimately try to do it at scale because I do like going on Reddit. I mean, there was a time you can go back and see how many posts and my handle on there is Baoshao, which is gibberish. It absolutely is gibberish. It's something that my kids used to say. And so when I came up with a name for Reddit, that was what it was. A little inside the making of a Reddit name. But I used to respond to almost every post there for probably almost 2 years, for a long time. And obviously the last few years I haven't been as active, but I was just kind of excited. I mean, I'm looking right now. There are 18,000, more than 18,000, 18.6 thousand members, 68 online right now as I'm looking at it. So it's just kind of a cool community that's really kind of grown up and is there to support each other. So in this episode, like I said, I'm just going to scan through some of the post, share just a little bit of insight. I'm not going to read them word for word, and then give what my response is to that, or just kind of share some general stuff. And now this first one that I just clicked on, and it's a great first one to start, is a day one post. And it's somebody that's saying that they posted here a few months ago, and now they're still gambling. This is their day one, hoping things get better. It's talking about they're in a lot of debt, on the verge of losing everything, and just reminding everybody that things don't get better. And so I think this is a fantastic post to start off with. Because one, it showcases one that we're all just a moment away from a day one, right? And for me, there's so much value going on and reading the day one stuff because it's always so raw. And it just takes me back, transports me back. I've talked about that. You go back in time to remember the pain so that you don't have to relive it again. And so while I feel bad for this person, my heart goes out to them and we're all there to support them, I can do that without having to experience that and having that reset in my own personal life to feel that pain and emotion. So it's one of the good things about a community like this, where you have people at all stages, is that the newer people get the support and the insights from the people that have been around for a while. And the people that have been around for a while get that reminder, that much needed, that very important needed reminder about why it's important. Because you can be right back to this place of realizing everything's gone and everything you love is on the verge of just being gone forever. And now when we get better, things obviously get so much better. And I think in most cases we're able to recover a lot, but we do. There's things that there are going to be relationships that aren't going to be able to be repaired. And that's just the reality of this addiction or any addiction. And so many times I think that can stop us from moving forward. But it needs to be something that we just look at that and really begin to look for a new way of life, a different way of life. So very cool. The day one post, glad this person posted. Looking forward to them getting to a day two, a day three, and beyond. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. I like this one. I hope I can help young adults avoid the gambling lifestyle someday. This is something I get so many messages from listeners about starting a new podcast. And I got one just the other day. And my response is always, yes, please do. Please share your story. And that's my big hang up. I know there's a lot of people that want to come on this podcast. We'll try and get as many of those interviews done as possible. Love to get them all done if we can. It's a challenge, I'm not going to lie, with current work schedule, but we'll try and figure it all out. But the desire to help others, this is something I've seen so frequently. And that's how I started this, is a desire to help others. And I think if we just all kind of work and bottle that up, and I think there's some underlying stuff to this too, right? Like it takes something that we see, that we know how much pain and suffering it caused for us, and it gives it some meaning. I know I've said this before. I've heard so many people say this when they're in a GA meeting or any type of 12-step meeting or somebody that's been in recovery from any addiction, saying, hey, I hope this can help somebody else. I hope somebody can use my story to either shorten the length of their struggles or to avoid it completely. And it gives some meaning to it, right? Or at least it gives some good to come out of the bad. And ultimately, I've shared that the further I get away from that day 12 years ago, the more that I see that as a valuable learning experience. And it's really hard to see it that way in the moment. That person on day one that I just went through, it's impossible to truly appreciate that, okay, this can be a moment that you look back and appreciate that you went through all this struggle and you got to this place where you were able to then go on Reddit, ask for help, get that momentum going forward in a different direction to where you get down the line in your 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even if it's in days, the life just changes and gets so much better once we start to make those changes. So yeah, we definitely all want to use our story to see some good come out of it. And I guess my message here is it absolutely will. Share your story, whether it's on Reddit privately and anonymously, or if it's on a podcast, go for it, because it's going to help somebody. You will be able to leverage that, to use that experience to do a lot of good in the world. So and that's why I'm so bullish on the internet, because the internet gives all these outlets for all these people on Reddit, on podcasts, like myself, like the posters I'm reading, to share their story, to pay it forward, to make the world a little bit better. All right, let's go on to another one. I like this one. This one is a day 3. So we've gone from day 1 to day 3. And this person talks about finally had a good night's sleep. Didn't even know what that was anymore. This really messed with our system. And so they spent the day reminding themselves that patience is key, and with time we'll get there. That is such a great post. Deep insight on day 3, way ahead of where I was on day 3. And I really love that. And there's some really good responses to it. This is just a really cool post. Ultimately, like the sleep. How about that one? How much sleep? It was lost during gambling time. And the more that you read all the different studies on sleep is one of the most important things that we can all do on a regular scheduled basis is make sure that we get enough sleep and deep sleep, good sleep, by not eating too late in the day, not being on our phones too late in the day, making sure that we exhaust ourselves with activity during the day, making so that we get to the point where our bodies and minds are tired and can go into that deep sleep. But it's such an important thing. And when we're gambling, we just completely hijack that and we just completely ignore the need for our body for sleep. So yeah, this person, day 3, impressive stuff. And then patience, patience is the key. And it's one of those things, especially that we all want to get to the end quickly. And I know, especially with debt, I've just recently kind of cleared off some of the ends of my debt, as well as just some other debt that, like a car, just paid off a car, which was kind of fun and cool. But it seems like when we first set it up on debt management, I look back at that when I first finally made that call or filled out the form online and started bundling all my debts together, acknowledging what dollar amount was there. It was just like, man, this is going to be forever. This is never going to end. It doesn't feel like it's ever going to end. And now here I am, and it ended. So just a good reminder that, yes, patience is key. And I love that. Stay strong. Very cool message. All right, this next one is really short. There is no message to it. It's just the title, and it says, I need someone to talk to. And somebody instantly responded, hey, I'm here, DM, if you want to chat. And that's just really cool. Like, this is, again, going back to that power of the internet, but also a really important thing that, like, we need to get these things out of our system. So if you're somebody that, even if you've been listening to this podcast, but you've never opened up to anybody, I really encourage you, try and find a therapist, especially if you're here in the United States, or I think the UK has similar stuff, obviously. Around the world, you all have public health care, so it's a little bit easier, hopefully, to get therapy for gambling addiction. But here in the US, as gambling expands, the funding for treatment has expanded also. Not as much as I'd like, not as much as anybody would like, but there are, in most states, funds set up specifically for gambling treatment. So definitely use those and reach out, because we need somebody to talk to, even if it's not about gambling, just about life. How valuable is it to us to have good friends, a close group of people that we trust? It doesn't need to be a lot of people. It can be one person that you can trust and you can talk to, and maybe you can talk to them deeply on this topic or other topics. Make sure that you have people in your life that you can chat to about different things. I know in my life, I have different people that I can talk to about different subjects on different levels. And I think that's normal. And it's extremely healthy. And man, just having that outlet is so important. And unfortunately, as we go into kind of a digital society, we have less of this actual dialogue. I think we can get there, even if it's, like I said, through DMs that somebody responded, hey, DM me. Is it as great? No, but it's better than nothing. So use anything. If it's an anonymous piece, definitely check that out. I mean, use anonymous chats is what I mean by that. But yeah, we all need somebody to talk to. And then I'll wrap this one up, this specific post, talking about the gamblersinrecovery.com. Great website. If you haven't gotten there, go to gamblersinrecovery.com. It has links to all of the GA meetings or support groups that are going on around the world, 24/7, 365. I'm pretty sure that it is 24/7, 365. You can find a meeting. Go get in there. It's digital from anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection, you can go sit in there, listen to it, take it in, and hear other people. And that gives you that outlet to talk. A lot of them you can share. Some of them, I think they have different formats, but check it out. That's going to be a platform for you to get an outlet and also get some insight. So definitely check out gamblersinrecovery.com. And yeah, for this person, I just hope they connect with somebody and have somebody to talk to, not only on the Problem Gambling Reddit board, but in their life. We all need to just really be cognizant of the fact that is so important and so just part of the vital nature of being human, is having the ability to talk, the ability to be heard. So definitely make sure that you have those and that you're using those people in your life to help you grow and help you evolve. And then also being that sounding board for your friends and family when they need it. That two-way street really sets it up to where you can listen and provide support and guidance as well. So be on both sides of that and really be on the lookout for the ability to talk to other people. All right, now we got a new one. This one says, about 3 weeks in to being gamble free, been staying so busy, I've been able to save up, but then had an unexpected expense. And man, I swear this is like the universe tests us. I don't believe in all that. I think it's just coincidence. But anyways, they said they had to spend some money on their car to get it fixed up, but fortunately they had saved it up. But still, they mentioned how having that hit, now all of a sudden it does trigger an urge to gamble, but they're going to Reddit, obviously, to post about it and saying it's not going to happen. And part of that, let's work backwards. Part of that reason why I think that they will be successful is they went there and they shared it. They said, hey, here's what happened. It's a bummer. It really sucks. And I got the urges. I thought it. Like, they didn't internalize that and try and fight them away, try and say, oh, don't have gambling thoughts. They said, no, okay, that came in. And now I'm sure, and the response is, it's normal. Right. And that's the thing I would say to them. It's completely normal anytime you have a hit to think, okay, the old way that I tried to solve this problem was by gambling. But then if we play the full story through, we say, okay, that ends poorly. That ends us in worse situation. Now we don't have that $1,000 or $500 or whatever it was to fix the car, but we also don't have additional money. We create bigger holes and bigger problems for ourselves. So we want to make sure that we're stopping digging, not continue to dig. But this is so true. And again, like I said, when you start saving up, and that's why it seems like it's the universe conspiring against us, but it's really just stuff happens. Life happens. Somebody needs some type of funding that is unexpected in our lives. Maybe it's a birthday party we weren't expecting to buy a present for, or something at work that we need to buy for work, or the kids, something pops up. But there's also so much satisfaction in being able to say, hey, you know what, because I didn't gamble, now I have this money set aside. I can just pay this bill. And yeah, is it going to suck in the short term? Yeah, but I can handle it. I can make it through. And so this is really cool. Congratulations. Way to go. 3 weeks in. Very, very cool stuff. All right, moving along to another post. This is a good question. How often do you good people relapse during recovery? And they said in parentheses, well, I had numerous times. Yes, original poster, I too had numerous times where I failed in recovery. And I think one thing to start off with is defining what that recovery looked like. And when I look back and reflect, the less structured my recovery was, and when I say less structured, basically when it was Jamie was just going to white knuckle it, and I was just not going to do that anymore because it sucks and it's dumb and all those types of things, and all those big promises, big proclamations that didn't have any action behind them. I had numerous failures, probably hundreds of failures. I mean, how many times? Probably easily hundreds of times that I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to stop. And then either by the end of the day or the week or the month, I was right back at it. Usually it didn't get to the month. Usually it was a lot quicker than that. Now, once I got to GA, that was really, that was the light bulb moment, or the thing that I needed personally, was I started talking about it out in public. Like a GA meeting, it's a private meeting, anonymous meeting, but with other people. Outside of my head, I guess is a better way to say public for me. And I started talking about it with a therapist. I started talking about it with family. And all of a sudden, things started getting so much better. And I've been fortunate in the poker and gambling realm. Haven't had any issues, haven't had any slip-ups since then. Now I've done similar things in other areas of my life that I look and I'm like, hey, if you really boil it down, that's probably gambling. Definitely is gambling. And I've had to address those. But when it comes to kind of the traditional casino gambling and all those types of things, being honest and open about it with this has really helped. It's been those other things where I'm tied to my work, or I'm making riskier decisions than I should be. And sometimes they don't all work out well. So it's been a learning curve as well to realize that this stuff all applies to all areas of my life. And I need to be aware of it. And I need to be kind of actively looking for places where I might get myself in trouble, and then create barriers to prevent those. And that's what I've been doing. That scientist and subject, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but there's a lot of good insight that can come when I'm honest with myself, accountable with myself, and then really take the things that I'm doing poorly off of my plate and give them to somebody else. And so as I do that more and more, and that's kind of a constant process I've realized, is that I'm always looking for what are some places where I might be substituting the thrill that I used to do with gambling, or some of that chase with gambling, with other stuff. And I've also, on the other side, just really limited my desires for things. I don't want, when I really boil it down, I like the look of new cars. I like new stuff. I like nice stuff, but it doesn't need to define me anymore. It's not something I just aspire to. If I get it, cool, whatever. But then I realize, I think part of it is just, I've had some success, and I see that those things don't really stick. Sure, they might make me excited for a weekend when I buy it, and then it fades quickly. So I have a better understanding of what truly I'm after, and with that, and where I want to be. I'm really in this sweet spot right now where I just want to stay in the sweet spot. I'm not trying to grow my business beyond it. I want to maybe cut back on hours. So maybe I up the quality of my work, but I don't really want to up the amount of work I do. I'm not trying to 10x it like some people. It's fine for them. It's not for me. And so that's been the other thing that's helped, is really understanding what I value, what I appreciate. And for me, a lot of that is just spending time with family, being available, being able to help. The last few weeks, we've had illnesses going around. My schedule's flexible. I can do that because of my schedule, because of my workload, and because I work for myself. Those are things I wouldn't be able to do if I took a job at a company. So knowing all these things and keeping them in balance has really helped. But getting back to the original question, how many relapses? We have a ton. We all do. But then once we start to put more and more things in place, and I think that's what I've noticed, is for me, it's been a continuous shrinking of the places where I might get myself in trouble. And so I obviously eliminate all the commercial gambling stuff. Now I've eliminated some of the things in my work life, which might be also similar triggers, and shrink those, just trying to look for other places. We're always gambling. Like, I don't gamble, but I gamble. When I go out to dinner, I'm gambling. When I decide what I'm going to do with my money on the weekend, I'm gambling. It's complicated. And so understanding that all these things are just kind of a risk-benefit analysis. And the more that I can see and remove the things that are high risk, they're often the high risk, high reward, right? So I am willing to give up that high reward. I'm just happy being more in the middle. And it's just really that contentment that has allowed me to shrink those things down and to remove out and slowly move down and just compress it down into where I found this nice little sweet spot where I have the stuff that I want, and I don't want the things that I don't have. So, long-winded way of saying that you'll continue to have fewer and fewer relapses if you're just aware of your situation and you're actively trying to get better. And that's all we're trying to do. All right, this next one, I'm not going to go in and read all of it, but it's essentially the TLDR is a family looking for advice for a family member on how they should address them. And they mentioned that they've been trying to help out so many different ways, help out financially, trying to bail the person out of the difficulties they place them in. And they just keep getting back in those same spots. And I bring this one up. This one obviously is for the family members, but I think it's important for us gamblers to also understand like the advice that I would give, because I really think it's important to understand because it takes away all the emotional side of things. Because we can often feel like, hey, they don't care about us unless they do these things. And it's a way that we hold people hostage, and it's really unfair. It's something we've probably all done on some level, some of us, myself included, way more than I should have. And it's probably one of the things I'm most regretful for is the way that I used other people, or at least used my situation to influence other people to help me out and to use the kindness that they had to try to help me. And in those moments, I do believe I wanted to change, but I wasn't willing to make the change. And ultimately, when they did help me out financially or got me out of these jams, it just felt like there was no way out. They never let me truly fail. And there's a friend of mine, and we talk about kids and gambling, and he's the first one that said, you know what, kids don't gamble when the parents buy the tickets. It's only upside. And that really got me to stop and think. I'm like, man, this is. And when families bail out a gambler from the debt or relieve that pain point, that coming date with the reality that you're not going to be able to pay the bill off, when work's going to find out, or a significant other's going to find out, or somebody's going to find out, and it's not going to end well. When we try to continuously intervene there, the person never truly feels the weight of what they've done. And it's difficult because I don't want to see my kids ever fail. I know they're going to. I know I would probably try to step in, but that's where like my other half of my brain has to kick in and say, is this a place where I just need to let them fail and learn that lesson and let them know that I'm not doing this because I don't love them. In fact, it's completely the opposite. I'm doing this because I care so much that I don't see how me stepping in and intervening is going to help them move forward. And especially because it hasn't in many cases. And this post specifically, in my case, the help was there time and time again. And eventually you just have to say no more. And this is why the advice I always give to friends and family members is you need to tell the person how much you care about them, first of all. You need to tell them how much you believe in them, that they can change, that you know they can change, that they know you know that it's not them, that they can be the person they want to be, that this isn't them. This doesn't look good on them. They know it doesn't look good on them. It's not the right fit. All of those things. And then say, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to support you financially in any way. I'm here for you emotionally. I will be the support system you need in any possible way because I know and believe in you, but I cannot pay the money. That is where I have to draw the line. That's the advice I give to friends and family. And I know that they've break that rule, break that advice, because it's so hard. And I can empathize and put myself in their shoes and understand how difficult it is in those situations. But yet I think if we're sitting here and looking at it, we know that it's true. We know that the best way is that we have to take full accountability. And so long as we're not feeling the full weight of what we're doing, then there's still that belief that we're going to be able to get out of it. And I really think we just have to get to the point where we understand that this is not something we can solve anymore. And we really kind of just face the music in a lot of ways. And sometimes it might be a job loss. Sometimes it might be increased interest on a credit card. And that's a reality. And yes, people could help us out. They could reduce that amount. But until we show significant change and action on our part, then those people should not be doing those things. And that's why I always tell parents or other people, I mean, if you want to help, don't treat it as a loan. Just treat it as you are donating this money. And I would suggest that you wait 6 months to a year before you even think about doing that. You need to see some changes in the person. And that's just the reality of it all. And sometimes we need to have that final feeling of, okay, I didn't make this. I lost my job. I lost this relationship. Whatever it is that really cements the fact that this is the reality of what we're doing to ourselves. So that's tough advice to give, but it's the advice I try to share with all the friends and family members. And hopefully you understand here. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you probably look back and see how the financial help it never really helped. It seemed like it was going to help. It delayed it. Ultimately, it just delayed the process. I mean, that wall was coming. It was just buying another 100 yards before we hit it. And then I want to close with this one because this is one that is near and dear to my heart. I could have posted it myself. Hell, I could post it on any number of Reddit channels myself. It says, I'm going to quit tomorrow, ... again. And that things have gotten worse and they're going to take it on tomorrow. And I love one of the very first responses is, why are you waiting? You can quit right now. And so whatever it is in your life, if you're listening to this and you're still struggling with the gambling, what are you waiting for tomorrow? Don't wait until 2 hours from now. Don't wait for 6 hours from now. If you're thinking about getting in shape, don't wait until tomorrow to start eating better. If you're thinking about exercising, don't wait until tomorrow to exercise. If you're thinking about mending a relationship that you have with somebody, don't wait till tomorrow to reach out. Send the message now. Send that text message now that, hey, you're really sorry, you want to reconnect. And you hope that you can, over time, build that relationship back. This is one of the most devastating things that we can do and that we do as humans is kick the can down the road. We're coming up against an election here in the United States. And my biggest complaint with all of the politicians is that it's all just this constant kicking of the can down the road. Oh, well, vote for us here and then we'll fix it down here. And then inevitably that time comes to pay off the promise that was made and it just gets kicked down the road again. Oh, there's always tomorrow. Well, there isn't always tomorrow. And if we're always thinking about tomorrow, if there's free beer tomorrow, as I think it was Homer Simpson, like the sign, I think that's a Simpson reference. If it's not, I don't know. I just always love that when I see that sign, free beer tomorrow at a pub. It's a good sign. But it is the ultimate procrastination, which is never fulfilled or is just so delayed that when you finally do, the instant reaction is always, well, why didn't you just start this earlier? And so you have that regret that instantly kicks in. Forget the regret. Forget all that. Just do what we have to do today and let's get on with it because we can handle it. We're strong enough to handle it. There's support systems like Reddit out there to handle it. And I believe in you. I think you believe in me. We all got the ability to do this. So let's stop kicking the can down the road and let's just start getting on it. In a lot of ways, this is what I'm trying to do with this podcast is get back into doing it. I committed to doing it, right? A couple episodes ago, I said, I'm going to do one every Friday. Well, it's Friday and an episode's going out. We just have to hold our feet to the fire. Stop saying, well, maybe I'll do it next month. Maybe I'll get back into podcasting next year. Now is the best option. So whatever it is that you're delaying in your life, I hope that you take on, and now is that next option. So I'll do the segue here. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not any of those things. I don't have letters before or after my name. This is for informational purposes. If you've been delaying reaching out to a therapist, do it now. Go on, find support. Get that support, get that financial support. If you're still managing part of your finances, part of your investments, get that off your hands. Don't deal with that crap. It's not worth it. I promise you, it's not worth it. Your life will be so much better when you just make that call and stop kicking the can down the road. Take action. The universe rewards action. So let's all take a little bit of action as we go into this weekend. I wish you the best. I know you can do it, and I look forward to seeing you in future episodes.